Hi, hello, I'm Jenny. I'm a coach, I'm an author, and I am an advocate for parents determined to raise emotionally healthy kids after separation or divorce. So, you're going to watch today a reading from my book, Healing Through Words, which is a guide designed to help you communicate with your ex without causing emotional fallout for your children. So, whether you're dealing with high conflict co parenting, being misunderstood, or simply trying to stay calm in the chaos, this space is for you. So, let's dive in and explore how the right words can protect your child's peace and your own. So, chapter 3 is Speak, Don't React. So, I will already say forgive any mistakes I make. I don't do editing. What you get here is raw, it's me, it's real. I will fluff my words, I will make mistakes, and I will mess it up somehow or another. But here we go. So, when emotions are high, communication can feel like combat. But words spoken in anger or silence used to punish rarely produce the outcomes that we truly want. If chapter 2 helped you identify the red flags, this chapter is about replacing them with intentional responses. So, reacting is automatic, it's driven by emotion, and it's often aimed at protecting your ego or releasing tension. Speaking, by contrast, is intentional. It's rooted in values, it's focused on outcomes, and it considers the emotional safety of your child. So the difference between reaction and response, reactions, they're immediate, they are emotionally charged, they are often regretted, and they are focused on winning or defending. Responses, however, are thoughtful. They're grounded in calm, they are aligned with your values, and they are focused on clarity, not control. So think of your reaction as the match and your response as the fire extinguisher. One ignites and the other reduces. So one ignites conflict, the other reduces harm. So let's talk a little bit about why reactivity escalates conflict. So reactivity often invites reactivity. One sarcastic comment will lead to another. One impulsive message sets off a whole chain reaction that turns a small disagreement into a multi day argument. Meanwhile, your child feels the tension ripple through their environment. They may not know the details, but they can feel the energy and they can feel that energy shift. And your dysregulation becomes their discomfort. So, reactivity also fuels defensiveness. So, when people feel attacked, they rarely hear your point. They prepare to defend theirs. So, what you're saying in their head, they're already thinking about how can I overcome this? How can I defend myself? So, the message that you're actually saying gets lost in the mess. And often, what started as a valid concern becomes buried under layers and layers of blame and also bitterness. So there's lots of internal work behind external calm. Intentional communication has to start long before the message is sent. It starts with regulating your inner world. And that means becoming aware of your emotional triggers and practicing your emotions and your self leadership. So, some questions that you need to ask yourself: what is this really about? What am I afraid of right now? What does my child need me to model in this moment? So remember, you're not just communicating with your ex, you're teaching your child how to handle discomfort, frustration, and disagreement. I'm going to give you an example. It's not in the book, but it's an example. Your ex says, "Oh, I'm picking up the kids on Saturday and they're going to meet my new girlfriend." Your immediate response is, "Hell no, they're not meeting new girlfriends. You've only just started going out with her. You've only been going out with her for like 2 weeks. She's not becoming a big part of my child's life. I don't know this person. She's not safe. She could be a child abuser." And your thoughts are spiraling. There's no way in hell that I am letting that woman anywhere near my children. So you have to question, what is this really about? Is this about the child's safety, or is this about your fear of being replaced? What are you afraid of right now? Are you afraid that they're going to like her more than they like you? Are you afraid that she's going to somehow buy their affection? and you're going to be seen as the bad person. And what does my child need me to model in this moment? My child needs me to model that I am calm, I am controlled, that if I have safety concerns, that I am able to communicate them with my ex-partner without flying off the handle, because I can be logical about this, and I can ask him, hey, you know, you've only recently split up with this person and now you're seeing this new person, and I'm a little bit concerned that the kids are going to get confused, overwhelmed. We don't know this person from Adam, and I do have concerns. Can we come to some kind of compromise about you introducing this person to our children? So this is how to pause in the heat of the moment. One of the most powerful tools that you have is the pause. It interrupts your nervous system's autopilot and gives your logical brain a chance to step in. So instead of firing off an immediate, hell no, there's no way in hell that this person is getting anywhere near my children, you stop. You step away from the phone or the keyboard or whatever it is, the iPad, that whatever it is that you're communicating with, you just step away. Go and have a cup of tea, go and have a cup of coffee, go and jump on the trampoline with the kids, go and do something else. You don't need to respond immediately. So the first thing to do when you find that there's something that's really kind of like making you react, first thing is notice the trigger. Pay attention to your body. You're clenching your jaw. Maybe your heart is racing. Maybe your chest is a bit tight. Maybe you're all tensed up. Name what you're feeling. I'm really angry. I feel really disrespected that he thinks it's okay to bring this woman in to see our children after they've only been together for 2 weeks. I feel that's not just disrespectful for me, but it's confusing for the kids. I feel overwhelmed by all of this anger that I'm feeling. Yeah, so name what you're feeling. By naming the emotion, it helps you to be able to work through that emotion. It's really important, and everybody forgets to do it. And the third thing is to narrow the gap. So you need to narrow the gap between the stimulus and the response. Take a deep breath, step away from the screen, or even wait 24 hours before replying. Because what you don't want to do is just fire off a response and then you start World War III. You can't tell me what to do. It's my time with the kids. You don't get to dictate who I have with me and who I don't. You can see it all exactly unfolding like this, can't you? So there are some certain scripts that you can do, that you can use, that I've put in the book, that you can use to shift the energy. So here's a few response scripts that you can adapt for when it starts to get really tense. Instead of "you're always late," try "when pickup times shift without notice, it makes planning hard. Can we agree on some clearer communication moving forward?" Instead of saying "that's not true," try "I see this differently. Let's focus on what's best for little Johnny, Louise," whatever your child's name is. Instead of saying "I am done dealing with you," try "I need to take a break from this conversation and I'll revisit it when I can engage more calmly." Instead of "you don't care about our child," try "I'm noticing different priorities. Can we realign on what little Johnny's needs are right now?" Instead of "this is ridiculous," try "I'm feeling really frustrated. Let's figure out a way to move forward constructively." So these phrases help reframe the dynamic. They take it from a personal attack into a collaborative problem solving. So what you want to be doing is communicating through calm and not chaos. So you don't need to reply in 5 minutes. You don't need to defend every decision. You don't need to match their tone. What you do need to do is to protect your peace so that your child can feel emotionally safe. The calmest voice in the room becomes the leader. This is really important. The calmest voice in the room becomes the leader. When you communicate from a place of clarity rather than chaos, you're shifting the dynamic. So even if your co-parent doesn't match your tone, you are modeling emotional maturity that your child can anchor to. Every time you pause, every time you choose a measured word over a sharp one, you're showing your child and yourself what strength really looks like. And in the next chapter, we'll explore what it means to enter the neutral zone, where logistics, not emotions, guide your co-parenting communication. Now, I wrote this book because this is the book that I needed when I was trying to communicate with my ex, because I got it all wrong. I reacted, I justified, I tried to reason with crazy, and it doesn't work, which is why once I installed boundaries, things started to change. Once I started to change communication, things changed. So rather than thinking about you statements, which is you've done this, you've done that, you've done the other, think about the I statements. I really struggle to plan our day when the drop-off time or the pickup time changes and I don't get any communication. So is there a way that we can make this into a more collaborative situation, or can we improve the communication on this? So when you say you're attacking. When you say I, you're not defending. What you're very calmly stating is your boundaries. That's what you're doing, is you are reinforcing your boundaries, and that's really important that you reinforce your boundaries, because if you don't, you'll get walked completely all over. I know, I've been there. I did it. So please take a tip from me. Read the book, follow the guide that I've given you, follow the process. And once you do, you're going to start to see a significant change, because behind all of this, behind everything that I've put down, is the needs of the child, because they need to have somebody that they can relate to, that is actually calm, that is not flying off the handle, that they can rely on emotionally, that they can anchor to. And you become the lighthouse in their world. You become the person that can show them the rocks in the harbour, so that they can make a choice as to which way they're going. And you're not going to win every battle. That's fine. You pick your battles that you want to win, that are important to you. You know, it's as simple as that. You pick your battles and you communicate in a very calm way, rather than a chaotic, immediate response that throws everything out of control and completely blows it out of all proportions. So thank you so much for being with me today. If you find that today's can't say the word excerpt spoke to you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so that you don't miss future readings and real-world strategies. You're not alone in this. I've helped thousands of parents across the globe shift the narrative, protect their kids, and regain control of their lives. If you want to go deeper, head to www.coparentingwithoutconflict.com. That's all one word, Co-Parenting Without Conflict, to explore coaching, resources, and support made just for you. You can also find the links on there to the books on Amazon that you can buy. There are 3 relating to divorce. The first one is how to get through a divorce. The second one is all of the things that you need to consider when you're trying to draw up a co-parenting agreement. And the third thing is about communication. Remember, please keep speaking with intention. Your voice shapes your child's world. Thank you. Goodbye.